Okay, welcome to our today's class. I warmly welcome to everyone to our online lives long study circle. We are nowadays studying the evolution and the levels of evolution uh, in consciousness perspective. Um, and from last couple of months, we are reading and try to understand the key ideas, key things in consciousness. So that's why we are here. And uh, we usually read from the book, The Map of the Consciousness Explained. If you can see here, The Map of Consciousness Explained is written by Dr. David R. Hawking. And we already gone through all these topics, having, doing, being, the evolution from survival to love, human evolution, the seven discoveries in evolution, uh, the truth about the intention, cause and effect, truth and infinite field. And nowadays we are studying the question answer. So last week we did study this question that if the world is emerging by virtues of presence of God, whose nature is said to be love, then why do bad things happen to good people? So this is the question which we try to find answer and make our uh, uh, consciousness increase, because this is somehow the question created by our ego mind. And today we are going to learn this question. So this question is also very important, but that question is related with the topic cause and effect. The cause and effect we studied in a few weeks ago here when we were on the session, this one, cause and effect. That and the idea behind cause and effect is everything um, is happened because of some reason. Everything, every activity, every action in me or in this world happens because of some reason, isn't it? So we call generally we all are under cause and effect influence. Okay, so that's everything is going happening. So let me see if I can find the previous cause and effect notes. But before we going, let's read the question first. The question is, I can see that the mind projects causality where it is not, and then unconsciously tends to ignore all data to the contrary. To actually discern the cause of anything, I would have to know all that's ever happened throughout all time, because everything is connecting with everything else. Is that right? So that is the question we are trying to figure out. Okay. So let me see. Okay, let's see. I'm just texting one of the attendees. Okay. So, uh, so let's try to find its answer. We will read this answer from the book, and that book which is in my hand, and that the map of the consciousness explained, and then we can read it as well. So the answer is, he's saying that you are aware of the limitation of the intellect. Yes, we are. The safeguard from being imprisoned by the intellect is humility. Okay. The intellect is only capable of doing certain tasks within a certain domain, and beyond that, it's an impediment. Okay. The intellect is serviceable to the linear domain, not the non-linear domain. Now, this is an important thing is coming. You would not use a hammer to open a can of soup. You cannot use the intellect to apprehend spiritual reality. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Let's continue to read this answer. Or you want to read as well? Because I am not sure what's your name. So you can also read it. Yeah, this question is from the book, and we will explain and we want to discuss this question today. Are you able to read it as well? Um, or shall I continue to read it? Okay. I know that's okay. You can listen and I can read it and then we can discuss as well. So the answer is continuing and is saying within the linear world of physicality and medicine, we see the uh, intellect's great value to the world. When I started out as a doctor, I was in charge of a large hospital where the people were routinely dying of diseases that now don't even exist. Okay. Polio hardly exists anymore. The benefit of the 400s have been tremendous. Now the 400 is a conscious level, the energy level. Okay. And that 400 energy level, uh, if you know what I mean, it is from the map of consciousness. And the map of consciousness, let me show you because uh, it will help us to, sorry, on this map. I'm just doing here, consciousness. Um, okay. Map of consciousness. Where it go, where it go. I think we can get it. Oh yeah, let's go. I will Google. If I can find it from Google. Um, okay, now it's going to here. Okay, so here is so this is a map of consciousness. This is in the book, and basically this is a roadmap of the when a person from the lowest emotion to the highest emotion or state of conscious level is enlightenment, which has a frequency 700 to 1000. And the lowest emotion is shame, uh, which is 20. So when the person grows by mind and by consciousness and well nourished and becoming a super person and the best person, then his or her conscious level start to increase from 20, 30, 50, 75 to until it reaches to peace and enlightenment or joyful. Okay, so that is the thing which we're talking about. So now let's come back to the question. He's saying the benefit of the 400s have been tremendous. The 400 conscious level is here, reason. So he's saying the energy field when it becomes 400, which is meaningful, which is like when the person start to understand the things in a real way, the is tremendous. When the person have a 400s conscious level, means the great intellect, the nice intellect, understanding, then we respect the intellect. Okay, it has been the great benefactor of society. As one's consciousness level goes up, one becomes more and more beneficial to the world, and those in 400s make a great impact. Okay, the world of science has transformed our lives from sickness, suffering, and misery to relatively painless surgery, childbirth, and recovery from main ailments. Okay, the intellect and this now is a very key lines are coming. The intellect and the science are tools for which we are extremely grateful. Okay, no problem. We don't put down the intellect. We take pride in it because if it were not of the intellect, none of us would be here now. Okay, so it's simply a matter of accepting that the intellect is limited, it is not God. So basically, Dr. David Hawken is trying to say that the our whole world, uh, based on at the moment, is science. We living in a scientific world, scientific revolutionized world. So and because this science is believed on cause and effect, science is observing everything with a cause and effect, but science is believed and based on intellect, our mind. But the doctor is pointing out here, our intellect is limited. Okay. So we only have a limited scope, limited vision, limited domain to work in a sign in our world. But it is not everything. Okay. So where the science domain finishes, where the that point the other spiritual domains start to operate and work. We call it spiritual reality. So everything beyond the seen world, because science only work on empirical knowledge, empirical um, tools, which are in a human body. We have five senses: eyes, ear, touch, taste, and we can um, we can also, there is a sixth sense as well. We many people say it's a gut feeling. Uh, so mainly is the five senses. Okay, with help of these five senses, our world, our mind start to think and based on scientific mechanism, we start to experiment and we start to invent and discover a lot of new things, right? Now the doctor is pointing out that this is limited. Okay. And although we are grateful to the science, but remember that mostly things in reality which exist and which we don't know as a scientific person, we have a limited intellect and we need to access towards higher consciousness, which is beyond science. So if I go back to my conscious level, a chart here, so he said when any science or scientific world happening, so it means we are here uh, on this level here. If you see my cursor, we make the world meaningful, understanding, and we are giving, and that is the science. But if we want to go beyond, and if you want to know the reality beyond scientific world, then we need to next is love, joy, peace, enlightenment. So these are the higher conscious level and higher spiritual domain, higher spirituality content, which a scientist never touch it. But you and me can touch it, okay? Or even if we are scientific mind, we can leverage, we can increase our mind to so that uh, we feel serenity, we feel blissful, and we feel that we are now towards enlightenment. So, but uh, uh, beyond reason, all these emotions, all these state of mind, all these state of consciousness um, are developing. Okay, and it starts from shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, and reason. So these, our world basically nurtures us to grow our um, state of consciousness. And these all happens with the cause and effect, under cause and effect domain. But beyond reason, now the cause and effect does not work. And these love, joy, peace, and enlightenment, they only happens beyond cause and effect. So it means that if we want to see and feel the world beyond reason, we need to, believe that now the next world where the cause and effect will not happen. And that is the world of love, joyfulness, peace, and enlightenment. If that makes sense. Do you have any question so far? And that question which we start to answer uh, is clear. Okay, so let's go to our next topic. Um, and this is the next question. And that question is, what is the world and how does it serve the evolution of consciousness? And that, okay, no problem. Yeah, very welcome. That's okay. So this is the last question of today. That uh, what is our world and how does it serve in the domain of evolution of consciousness? So it means that the author is asking that um, in our world, what we think about evolution of consciousness and how we touch it, how we say it, how we speak in our current world. So here is a different type of things we say. So all are the different statement. Okay, one, two, three. It means that every group, every community, every person or group of people, group of communities, group of religion, group of gender, group of different races, different countries, different cities. So lot of groups of people and communities, they think differently about evolution of consciousness. And we just here can read their statements, okay, and try to understand. Some people say um, ev- evolution of conscious is this. Some people say evolution of consciousness is this and this. So that's we are trying to find. And the good thing about the answer, which is given by Dr. David Hawken, is saying 485, uh, 575, 350. This is the again conscious level from here. Okay. So he is scoring each statement according to him, that which is more powerful, which is less powerful, which is least powerful, and which is the most powerful. Okay. So so we can start from here. And we can also say one thing before we start to read. The evolution of consciousness means the level of truth, which every group of people, every community thinks about. Okay, so that we are going to explore. So first, this is the statement. Some people think that one's view of the world is consequent to the observer level of consciousness. Is saying that what means observer levels of consciousness, that it does mean that every person have a different level of consciousness, depend on me, okay, depend on my own perception, whatever I think this world is about, and that is evolution of consciousness, that is the truth according to me. And it has a scoring 485, and 485 lies between this and this, between love and reason. So that person uh, is is saying somehow little bit truth, but not 100%. Okay, let's see what other people think. Some other people think the world is actually an opportune place for redemption. And what does it mean? This is the world which is being saved from sin or evil. Okay. Uh, so, um, so this is the world where we have to save ourselves from evil and sin. Many people think it means we always seek for salvation. We always go for salvation, and that has a high score, 575, which is on this here, on this chart, 575, between joy and peace, between serenity and bliss, between complete and perfection. So we lie here. Some people lie here who believes that this world is actually is an opportunity to move towards salvation, move towards uh, that place which is um, away from sin and evil. I think it is more little bit a very pious religious views, because many religious people, they think that we need to follow the religion, any religion, whether it's Christian, Jews, Hinduism, Islam, Buddhist, or any other religion. Uh, and the purpose of that religion is to keep away from sin and evil, and we need to go towards salvation. And every religion has their own little bit more or less same mechanism, how to enter or how to go towards salvation. And it has a 575. That thought is good. That thought has an energy level or unconscious, and that is good. So it means if anybody is religious, but depend on the intention, and if he or she lives the world from keeping herself or himself away from sin and evil, and enter into the salvation, it means that they are in 575 uh, level. Okay. Uh, Also, some people say that I have invented the world I see, 350. And 350 is here acceptance, forgiveness, and harmonious. So that type of people, they have this interpretation. Some people say the world and the universe are merely passing illusions created by ego to keep himself separate from the God. The world and the universe passing through illusion created by ego to keep itself separate from the God. 220. So 220 is here. That person has courage, and he or she is trying to be feasible. Okay. Um, okay, that's interesting. Um, then some people also think that the human life is an expression of God's will, by which the Godhead fulfills the actualization of infinite potentiality. Hmm, that's interesting. And that energy level is high also, 560. And 560 lies between joy and peace, between serenity and bliss, between complete and perfect. Okay. So that is so interesting. Let's go further. Some people think humanity descended from the stars and fell from the heaven. Okay. Yeah, some people believe, some religious people also believe that we have came from stars and we have been thrown out from the paradise or heaven. And that has a conscious level is 160, which is here. We are angry. Okay. We have hate. We have antagonistic, agnos, uh, agonistic. Here, no. Some people believe that humanity descended from monkeys. So Darwin theory of evolution. So we have been descended from monkey. That's why it's 160. So let's see, 160 is the same from here. Now anger. That's a very low consciousness. Some people think that the world and humanity are created by God and are therefore divinely inspired and intrinsically holy. Therefore, this whole world is interesting, and it is a higher consciousness of 545. 545 is here. 545 is here. Yeah, between joy and peace. Okay. The next is the world is merely a physical product of physical universe. So that they may have a materialistic paradigm about the universe, that the entire world is just a physical product. And it's 190. Again, is on angry stuff. 190. Okay, no, 190 is between courage and pride. Okay. But still, it's a lower conscious level. Because there are, always remember, of course, this world where you and me live is uh, a material world as well. Initially, on the beginning, everything is material. Okay. So the next is life and therefore humanity are purely accidental products of Darwinism, Darwinian biological evolution, mechanistic reductionism. So life and therefore humanity are purely accidental product of Darwinian biological evolution. And it's 190. 190 is here, pride, scorn, demanding. between pride and courage. Mechanistic reductionism, that phenomena is called. And we are a purely accidental product. Accidental product. That is a low conscious level. It means anybody who believes that Darwinism is a true and everything is according to Darwin biological mechanism which he presented. So we'll have a low conscious level. I never knew that actually. I thought Darwinism was very logical and very um, right type of thing, which leverage your conscious level. If you have any question about this thing, you can also type that the Darwinism, um, Darwin's interpretation of life is here accidental product, accidental products. Okay. Life and therefore humanity are purely accidental. That's quite interesting, to be honestly, very, very interesting. Um, are purely accidental. Um, but there is a question that did the Darwin said that these all humanity or life came by accident, and I think that Darwin mentioned a proper mechanism that how one species start to transform to other species based on natural selection, um, uh, based on environmental changes, and yeah, but not the accidental. But that is, I think, research. Let me make it red. I will basically question. I will research about that. It is very interesting. Okay, let's go further. Some people think that survival is due to the natural selection by survival of the fittest. Okay, so this is also from the Darwin's theory, and that is 440. Uh, and 440 is here. 440. Okay, here. Yeah, between reason and love. I think again it's a scientific realm. Here the science starts basically, or science domains. So this is something which Darwin said, okay, or people concluded from that Darwin's theory that survival is due to natural selection by survival of the fittest. Um, and that is also deduction from the Darwin theory, which saying that life and therefore humanity are accidental product of evolution. I need to know about this thing. I will come back to the next couple of thoughts and statement from certain groups about evolution is the world and human life ate the consequences of fall of Adam and Eve due to disobedience and succumbing to the temptation of curiosity. Life is therefore potential for original sin. So it also has 190. So 190, and that is a very belief of a mainstream like Christian, Jews, and Islam. Many Muslims, Christian, and Jews, they believe on this thing. Okay, so like we started our this world from the sin, which is 190. 190 is here between pride and courage. Pride and courage. Okay, here. Okay, the next is this. The world is a comedy, a tragedy, a political game, board, and more. Hmm. I don't know who said this, but that is also a part of our world. 240, and 240 is here. Neutrality, trust, satisfactory. We are here, our conscious level here, guys. Okay, next is this is a purgatorial of hardship and suffering, therefore seek heaven. So this world is full of hardships and suffering, and that's why we need to go to paradise and heaven. We need to find it. That is also salvation message, and that has vibes of 350, which is 350 lies here. Acceptance, forgiveness, harmonious. Mm. The next is the world is a rare opportunity for maximum spiritual growth and evolution by the undoing of bad karma and the earning of spiritual merit. That is great. Let me read again. The world is a rare opportunity for maximum spiritual growth and evolution by the undoing of bad karma and earning of the spiritual merit. 510. That is very interesting. And 510 is an energy level of love, or reverence, and beneath. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that is. The next is the world as exploitative. That is a little bit scared or fear. 180. So 180 comes here. Yeah, anger and pride, between hate and scorn, between antagono and antagonistic, antagonistic and demanding. Okay. Let's go further. The world is as unfair. Is 200. So this world is not smooth. It is very unfair. 200 is courage, affirmation, feasible. And the next is the world as a karmic expression. The karmic is from the karma that if we have done something great and we are keep doing great things in entire world, then we will reborn again into a great another uh, form of life, and that's whole world is going on. 575. It does mean that, for example, if 500 years ago was born in London and that person was great, he or she may reborn in 21st century in different form of life, um, with better form of life, better than before. The world as a, and the last is the world as a karmic opportunity. Yeah, and it has a 600. It's the highest. So I think that Dr. David Hawkins is very firmly believer on karma, and he has rated karma as a highest conscious level a man can or people can see. Here, the karmic people is 600 on a piece below the enlightenment. Of course, after this, we go towards enlightenment, where we feel on 600 energy is a bliss perfect. Okay. And that is very, very interesting. Very, very. Usually, so karma is a global philosophy. Um, Maybe it's originated from India, from their yogis or Buddhist, or maybe um, Buddha. He himself is a founder of karma, um, and that has gripped the spiritual world a lot. And this world is or has to be seen in form of karmic opportunity. Uh, it is an amazing thing I have ever known. So I will read about further about karma, what means by karma, and how our spiritual world or unseen world or the real world is wired with karmic outcomes. Isn't it? It's interesting. Um, yeah, so these are the two questions we did answer today. Let me see on the Facebook if somebody has a um, question there in the Facebook. Hmm. Yeah, so if you have any question and thought, so leave a comment below. There is a YouTube channel. You can find it with my name, Naratib Ali Shad, and you can join and subscribe and share with other people. Um, and we will continue to read our book study of consciousness. Um, and yeah, so that's it. If somebody on our Facebook have any question, answer, some thought about what we studied, feel free to um, answer or comment. I will try. I'm on the comment box or comment. I will try. Yeah, I'm on the comment box now. Yeah, or I can answer you later as well. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you next Sunday with a new question and a new topic as well in the same study of consciousness. It's not finished yet. The study of consciousness is going on. Okay, and I can give you more clue on my meetup group and on the event section that what we will cover in week 13. So we finished the study of consciousness is week 12. So it means almost 3 months we are studying it, and we will continue because it is such an important topic for book study on consciousness. Thank you very much and see you next Sunday, same time. Bye bye.